In the late 90s, I became aware of the Community Quality Council movement in the USA that set out to bring quality into whole communities. Based on that, I tried to do the same in Ireland in a small village called Grange in Sligo, and I tried to replicate what had been done in the States. It was a failure. The whole Community Quality Council movement in the US was a failure. In fact, if you're interested in it and you take a look and do a search, you will see that in spite of the ASQ, the Deming Quality Institute, and what was known as the Association for Quality and Participation were all involved in various schemes, and there isn't a trace left. Because of this, I felt it was very, very important that if quality was ever to go back into people's lives, there had to be something seriously done. At this stage, as we come into the 21st century, it is important that if we are to make the century of quality, that everybody, whether they are individuals, whether they're working in interest groups, whether they're in industries or institutions, I call these the 4 I's, that they all can speak coherently about what quality is. It became a kind of a joke among my colleagues when I would say, do you know what quality is? And I would answer back, well, it's whatever you think yourself. Of course, I as an individual have a legitimate right to be able to define what quality is, but it doesn't stop there. This is the beginning of it. There are others involved. So this new definition, when I looked around and I did various searches and I read various articles, the best I could come up with was the definition that a quality outcome is achieved when the right things are done right. Therefore, what is quality? Quality is achieved when the right things are done right. This to me is a universal definition that nobody can possibly complain about. It is not restricted to any sector. It doesn't restrict you in time, because what is the right thing to do and how it should be done will always be determined by the context and the time and the conditions that prevail. So we can now dismiss people who say to us, you can't define quality because of all the different sectors. Yes, I can. Quality healthcare is when the right things are done right. Quality childcare is when the right things are done right. Quality internet service provider is when the right things are done right. So we have now a universal definition. But if you take this universal definition, then you have to move on to say, okay, well, before I go there, quality now becomes a destination, by the way. So we define what is the right thing to do and how it should be done, and we have a time frame there. And in that time, when we reach that, we have to accept that is what we decided that quality was. We speak a language that is made up of words. We can only communicate to people with words, and every word has to be very, very powerful. I don't think it is semantics to say to anybody that a quality outcome is achieved when the right thing is done right. The next part of that is who decides. And the article tells you that I can't decide. It can't be Bob Kennedy saying, it's whatever he thinks himself. No, but he is a legitimate voice. If I am the consumer, that is my opinion. If you are the creator, you have views. But the complementers, our regulators, and everybody else that neither create nor consume, they have views. So they must agree what is the right thing to do and how it should be done right. So these are the important things. And they set that in a time frame. And they say, if this is done this way in that time frame, with a quality outcome, it's a destination. Okay? So it's far from semantics. We go back maybe to Persig's Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. And we see in there, he talked about quality and a train and a track and everything else. For a long time, people have said quality, it's not a destination, it's a journey, it's not a destination, it's a tool. We must, as a profession, get our act together. A quality outcome is a destination. It is a station on the track at some point in time and space. We know what we have to achieve to have a quality outcome. But how we get there, and how we agree this, and how we work this out, has to be some other process. And I'm calling that process, the track, what he called the train with all of its carriages. That this track is excellence. And if we travel the pathway of excellence, we will work out how to define, realize, deliver, and evaluate a quality outcome. The definition of excellence pulls out for you how it should be done. So now you can say to somebody, I would like to have quality childcare. And the how is by practicing excellence. And I would like this to be our approach that liberates people, everybody, to be able to sit down somewhere and say, you know, we are thinking of doing so and so, whatever it is. We need to reduce our defect rate by 2% each month. How will you do it? By practicing excellence. So, the quality outcome, by practicing excellence. And this little addendum is like a kind of a virus that attaches to every activity. And what is the nice thing, I think, of the definition of excellence? It says that these people, the creators, consumers and complementarists, they'll reach agreement about this outcome that they know will keep changing. They know it'll keep changing. So they don't get disillusioned about this. They know it's an emerging thing. But they do it. They want to define, realize, deliver and evaluate in an effective, efficient, effective, ethical and enjoyable and elegant manner. And these things, I think that the fun has to come back into quality. It has to be enjoyable. Why are we striving for everything? So if you look at that definition of excellence, I think, and see how it pins onto things, and ask yourself, could you approach anybody who knows virtually nothing but quality and say to them, look, this is what quality is, and this is how it's achieved. This universal definition of excellence, I think, is very important now in the 21st century. Here we are, heading into the end of year 14 of it. If we are to move forward, we have to restore the harmony by saying to people, we now have a universally acceptable definition of quality, which is doing the right things right. We know the people who decide this are the people in the system itself, the creators, consumers and complementarists, and that they do this by practicing excellence. In a nutshell, that is what I have pulled out of my work over the last 30 years. And I'm passing it on to you in the hope that you can help make the century of quality that Juran predicted, but I would say more so yearned for.